Welcome to Revenge Justice, where every wrong finds its payback. My ex wasn't the absolute worst person in the world, but the things he did to me almost pushed me over the edge of sanity. When I was with him, my mind was a battlefield. I experienced manic episodes, sleepless nights, and moments where I barely recognized myself. He had this way of making me feel small, like I was always the problem, even when I knew deep down I wasn't. He wasn't a monster every day. Sometimes he could be charming, thoughtful, the kind of man who held open doors or surprised me with a smile when I least expected it. And that was part of the trap. Because just when I thought things were good, he would twist everything back around. A careless comment, a cruel laugh, a silent treatment that lasted for days. He built me up, only to tear me down, over and over again. He had a watch. Not just any watch. This watch was his pride and joy. He would polish it every morning, adjust it carefully on his wrist, and show it off like it was some kind of crown jewel. It wasn't worth millions, but to him, it was priceless, and I knew it. Sometimes, he'd catch me staring at it, and instead of smiling, he would smirk and say, "Don't get any ideas. This is mine." Like even looking at it was forbidden. That watch was his symbol of power, the thing that made him feel untouchable. After we broke up, I wanted to do the right thing. I thought maybe I should return the watch. I told him I still had it, and he said, "Okay, I'd like it back, please." Simple words, but words filled with entitlement, as if, after everything he put me through, he still deserved kindness from me, and part of me almost gave in, because that's who I was. The girl who gave, even when I had nothing left to give. But here's the part that shattered me. I had left some of my most precious belongings at his place, things that carried years of memories, a journal I had written in since I was 16 Polaroids from nights with friends who had since moved away, a necklace my grandmother gave me before she passed. And one day, just a month after our breakup, I discovered the truth. He had thrown them all away. Every last piece of me that I had left behind. Gone. Just like that. No phone call, no text. No, "Do you want these back?" He didn't care. He discarded my things the same way he had discarded me. And yet, I still had his watch, the one thing he cared about most, the one possession he held above all others. For weeks, I wrestled with myself. Do I return it? Do I keep it? Or do I destroy it? At first, I tried to be fair. I told myself, be the bigger person. I even thought, maybe I should package it neatly and send it to him, because that's who I was back then, the kind of woman who gave, even when she had nothing left. But every time I thought of what he did, the guilt he made me feel, the way he poisoned my mind, and the cruel way he tossed my belongings into the trash, that kindness inside me began to burn into something else. It turned into fire. It turned into rage. At night, I would lie awake, staring at the watch sitting on my dresser. It felt like it was watching me back, ticking away, reminding me of him, reminding me of everything I had lost. Some nights, I swore I could hear his voice in my head, mocking me, telling me I wasn't enough, telling me I'd never move on. And every time I looked at that watch, I saw him. The smirk, the cruelty, the lies. It wasn't just an object, it was a chain, and I was still tied to it. By the second month after our breakup, my patience was gone. I picked up that watch, turned it over in my hands, and thought about all the nights I cried while he slept peacefully beside me. I thought about the lies, the manipulation, the way he made me question my worth, and in that moment, I stopped being the girl who gave him everything. I slammed the watch onto the floor. The glass cracked, the gears inside shattered, and then I did it again, and again, until his precious treasure was nothing but a pile of broken metal and dust. For the first time in years, I felt free, The sound of the final crack still echoes in my memory. It wasn't just glass breaking, it was the sound of me breaking free. My heart slowed, my hands shook. But for once, they weren't trembling from fear. They were trembling from release. Weeks later, I was cleaning out some old accounts. Social media I didn't use anymore. And there it was. A post from him, not recent, but recent enough. He was talking about that watch, reminiscing, saying how much it meant to him, how it reminded him of the best times of his life. Reading those words, a smile crept across my face, because little did he know, while he was busy dreaming about that watch, I had already destroyed it. His symbol of pride, his comfort, his treasure, gone. For a second, I felt guilty, because I knew how much it meant to him, but then I remembered the truth. This was the man who made me lose myself, who threw my belongings away like they were garbage, who made me believe I wasn't worthy of love. And suddenly, the guilt disappeared. Breaking that watch wasn't just about revenge. It was about closure. It was about taking back power. He thought I'd never find again. Every time he looks at his empty wrist, every time he remembers what he lost, he'll never know the truth. But I will, and that secret is mine forever. I wasn't his broken girlfriend anymore. I was me again, and I was free. The watch may have been his treasure, but breaking it was mine. Because sometimes, revenge doesn't need to be loud. It doesn't need to be public. Sometimes, the sweetest revenge is quiet, personal, and it leaves your enemy haunted by a loss they can't explain. And me? I walked away, smiling. Finally, the happy girl I always knew I could be. Cruelty and control may break objects, but they can never break the spirit. True freedom comes when you reclaim your power in silence. If you liked this video, kindly subscribe to get more true, real stories.